Okay. All right, let's go.
Hello.
Cameron Duncan. This is Frederick Hawthorne from
This
Barbershop
Tim.
Conversations. I'm on time, man.
Yeah.
How you doing, man?
Good.
How's your Friday going?
I'm doing good. How about yours?
All right, good. We're live, so so just in case you I just want you to give you the heads up. I appreciate you offering us some time on your Friday evening. Are you waiting on the Laker game like us or what? Here in LA?
No, I got to do another show at 7 o'clock, and I've been doing boxing half the day.
Okay.
So
Okay.
just busy.
Okay. Now, briefly, can you just introduce the audience to you? Like, how did you get into boxing? Your first fighter? I know you from Kelly Pavlik. I've never met you personally, but I know you from the Kelly Pavlik days. But can you just give us like a brief history?
I was asked to manage a fighter because I went to the fights in Phoenix, Arizona. I would go to the Bermane club show. And I worked really hard all the time at my job, and I had a few dollars, not much. But they said, "Would you like to invest in a fighter?" And I said, "I don't, I don't think so." But anyway, I wound up getting into it, and I signed a kid that was really good. Robert Rivera beat Obakar in the amateurs. He was out of Tucson, Kronk West at that time. And he just wouldn't train at all, Fred. You couldn't get him in the gym with a gun. So, I made him like 16-0, but he was always overweight and didn't show up. I didn't know anything. I just trying to keep him winning. And so I wound up letting him go. He fought Ruelas and got knocked out in about 5 rounds, I believe, if I remember right. And then, I signed a couple other fighters. And then, I said, all it did was cost me a bunch of money. And I just said, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to get a real guy. So I looked around at Duva and Finkel, and I became really good friends with Emmanuel Stewart. I loved him. He's just such a great man. And I got real close to him, and he taught me a little bit, and, as he could. Anyway, so I, got near him, and I said, you guys get all your fighters from the amateurs. So I went and started recruiting, and I signed a kid, Danny Romero, from Albuquerque, who was in the Olympic trials in '92.
I remember him. He was a flyweight, right?
Flyweight.
Yeah,
correct.
flyweight. Yeah, Danny Romero was a flyweight. Johnny Tapia, New Mexico, right?
Yeah, and I managed him also.
Yeah.
I managed both of those guys. And I turned around and took him to Top Rank, and that's where I met Bruce Trampler. And that summer I did a show in South Dakota, and I met Pete Susans and Mal Strauss. And they were best friends with Bruce. And so that's how I learned boxing, and they really taught me. And then I hung around Top Rank for 20 years, and I had a couple of guys with King. I brought him Bermane, Stiverne, but I got thrown out of the deal. And I had another deal with King. I had a couple of good fighters with King.
How does a promoter get thrown out of a deal? You mentioned Bermane, Stiverne. How does you get?
I wasn't a promoter at the time. I was a manager.
Manager. How does I apologize. How does a manager get thrown out the deal?
I just didn't fit. I brought him down here, and I gave him an Acura to drive, and got him an apartment. And I mean, I thought Bermane was going to be. He was good.
Yeah, he was good.
There's
Quick
no
hands.
doubt he was good.
Quick hands.
But I thought he was going to really be good, better than that. But I just didn't fit in the deal. And he was clear up in Laval, Canada, and he was back and forth, and you know, it was just, I didn't fit. And I didn't have a close relationship with him. I mean, we were nice to each other, but, you know, he was doing stuff with other people and talking to other people. And I just saw that I was just going to lose a bunch of money. And so I told him, and he was glad to leave. And we talked about it. And I mean, we hugged and said goodbye, and it ended on a very cordial relationship, but it just wasn't fit. So sometimes it just doesn't fit.
Gotcha.